What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another update. Yesterday after the close, we got news that Tesla would be temporarily shutting down, halting production at its Fremont factory in California due to the illness 19 outbreak. They actually put out an operational update after the market closed. So I want to go through this and then give you my thoughts on how this is going to impact the financials and a key silver lining that I think so many people are overlooking right now as part of this Tesla story unfolds. So this is the operational update that Tesla put out yesterday. I'll just read it through. Forgive me if you covered this, but I think it's important to be very detail oriented and really look into what they're saying. In the past few days, we have met with local, state, and federal officials. We have followed and are continuing to follow all legal directions and safety guidelines with respect to the operations of our facilities and have honored the federal government's direction to continue operating. Despite taking all known health precautions, continued operations in certain locations has caused challenges for our employees, their families, our suppliers. As such, we have decided to temporarily suspend production at our Fremont factory from the end of day March 23rd. So it sounds like about 3 days from now is when the shutdown will happen, which will allow an orderly shutdown. Basic operations will continue in order to support our vehicle and energy service operations, charging infrastructure as directed by local and state and federal authorities. Our factory in New York will temporarily suspend production as well, except for those parts and supplies necessary for service infrastructure and critical supply chains. Operations of other facilities will continue, including Nevada and our service and supercharging network. So put that in English: Fremont closing, New York closing, Nevada Gigafactory is open, and they will continue other facilities that are key to operations like service and supercharging. In many locations, we are in the process of implementing touchless deliveries so customers can continue to take delivery of their vehicle in a seamless and safe way. Due to the unique over-the-air connectivity of our vehicles, customers are able to unlock their new cars at a delivery parking lot via the Tesla app, sign any remaining relevant paperwork that has been placed in their car, and return that paperwork to an on-site drop-off location prior to leaving. This method provides with additional convenience and comfort. Our cash position at the end of Q4 was $6.3 billion before our recent $2.3 billion capital raise. We believe this level of liquidity is sufficient to successfully navigate an extended period of uncertainty. At the end of Q4 2019, we had available credit lines worth approximately $3 billion, including working capital lines for all regions, as well as financing for the expansion of our Shanghai Gigafactory. So Tesla trying to calm concerns here. And what's interesting here is they don't give a timeline. So Fremont and New York are shut down for seeming indefinitely. My guess is at least 2 weeks, probably more before that gets off the ground. But the good news here, part of the silver lining is that the cash position, they don't tell us how much cash they have on hand now, but they're basically like, we have plenty of cash. We're in a good position. I didn't even personally think about the $3 billion in credit lines that they had. So Tesla with plenty of big enough cushion to survive several quarters of shutdown if this gets way worse. So that is a good sign. But I think the shutdown was kind of inevitable. It seemed like so many different businesses were shutting down. There were reports just a couple days ago that Tesla was going to keep things operating at sort of this essential baseline level, but apparently even that's not the case. Although at the same time, we are still seeing Elon make a bunch of tweets about making ventilators at either Tesla or SpaceX. So I don't know how that ties into all this news, but apparently that is still potentially happening. Additionally, we have an analysis from Pierre Ferragu of New Street Research. He was on the Tesla Daily podcast. He says that Fremont is closing tomorrow, which was actually wrong. He meant the 23rd, but cash burn will be about $62 million per week, which equates to about $750 million per quarter if you assume about 12 weeks in the average quarter. They say Tesla can weather that easily. Shanghai running with state-of-the-art protection for employees. Count on them to import good practices and resume work ASAP. We will all get our Cybertruck. So that's one of the leading analysts on Wall Street covering Tesla. He's also saying this should be no big deal. Once again, $750 million per quarter sounds like a huge amount of burn to shut the factory down, but this is something Tesla can handle. They could easily drop $4 billion. Year and a half, that covers it. I think things are going to pick up way before then. Additionally, we recently got new research coming out of Gene Munster from Loop Ventures. He was saying that Tesla even basically backing up what I was saying in a previous episode about will Tesla survive a global depression. Gene Munster's new note basically saying yes, they kind of coming to the same conclusion that Tesla could sustain a several quarter shutdown in their Fremont facility and still be fine, not even needing to do a capital raise. I mean, this comes at a time when Ford just announced a huge dividend cut, slashing jobs, sort of financial chaos, and Tesla is weathering the storm totally differently. We're really seeing the true financial health of these different automakers come to light, and it's becoming clearer and clearer that Tesla is in by far the best position of anyone. I think it's really fascinating to see how much this has changed in just the past year or two. This quote from Gene Munster, which I found in Tasmanian, saying 2 years ago during the Model 3 ramp, Tesla was at risk of running out of cash with only $2.5 billion in the bank. Today, a temporary production shutdown, even one followed by a material decline in global demand for new cars, does not put the company at risk and running out of money. So, I mean, that's really impressive that Tesla, an automaker, is in such strong financial health. And he's basically saying, even if like this is a multi-year, like the true global recession that we're all worried about, Tesla won't even need to raise capital. But even if they did need to raise a couple billion on horrible terms, that still wouldn't be the end of the world. So I think we have, I'm sleeping safe at night knowing Tesla, yeah, their stock price could get hammered, things could get way worse, but I think how they're going to fare relative to every other automaker, way better. And I think they're going to be one of the last companies to go bankrupt. But anyway, so yes, Tesla shutting down Fremont. Is that going to be the end of the world for the company? No. The other silver lining that I think everyone is totally missing here is that China recently reported no new local cases. They put their extremely harsh quarantine measures have put a stop to the spread of the virus, it seems. And Shanghai is up and running. Elon Musk recently tweeting, China is operating normally across hundreds of suppliers and all of Tesla Shanghai. This is huge because Tesla is geographically diverse. Yes, Fremont and New York are shutting down, but that new Gigafactory in China is ramping up. And this is something that didn't exist last year. And I found this article from Tasmanian. It was a little unclear. Tesla Gigafactory Shanghai production capacity has exceeded pre-C19 breakout 91% recovery rate. They say we have exceeded 91% recovery rate since March 6th, and the current production capacity has exceeded the level before the coronavirus outbreak. So there was a bunch of speculation of what level they were on there. Was it 1,000 a week, 2,000, 3,000 a week? We don't know, but what I'm reading in between the lines here is Tesla Shanghai is up and running and getting more and more profitable, and production is expanding by the day. So I think what's happening here is, yes, Fremont is shut down, but I think Shanghai, as this continues to ramp, will take off a lot of the pressure from Tesla in Fremont and will really help subsidize some of those losses. And so I think as the US and the Western world is totally shutting down and stopping, we're forgetting that China is coming out of the light at the end of the tunnel of this crisis and is actually already potentially going to be a positive financial contribution from Tesla. It's funny how the tide is totally, the narrative has reversed itself from just a month ago where China was a huge crutch for Tesla. Now China is all of a sudden become a huge asset with everything else becoming a crutch. So I think this is going to be a really good silver lining that is going to come on the Q1 conference call. I think is going to calm a lot of concerns. Tesla's going to say they're going to give us details on how much cash they burned. They'll tell us, what the production rate is at this Shanghai Gigafactory, how much it's contributing to the financials. So I think that there's going to be a lot of good news to unpack there, which I'm really excited about. Seeing the smartest analysts I follow on Wall Street, like Gene Munster and Pierre Ferragu, say that this Fremont shutdown is not going to be a financial disaster for Tesla. Backing up my own research is really good, feels good, and is validating. So, times are tough. Things are going to get ugly. That is just what's happening. The U.S. economy is on the verge of a total shutdown, and unfortunately, that includes the Tesla Fremont factory. So I'm sending all the best wishes to Tesla employees, the factory people. Thank you for putting in all this work. I hope you guys are able to get things and reopen soon. I think a lot of the learnings that happened from getting Gigafactory Shanghai off the ground, keeping those precautions, the distance, the masks, the medical wear, how to build cars under all of those circumstances, lots of valuable learnings. Tesla will soon apply to Fremont when that gets scaling back up. So I think this is not the end of the world, and Tesla's going to make it out, but it is a little bit of a bummer to see this shutdown. I'm going to let you know totally if I find out any more info on this. I'm in the process of trying to find out exactly what the China production rate is, any more details on this shutdown and the financial health of the company. So if I get that, I will let you know. Anyway, huge shout out to our Patreon supporters, producers, funding the channel during this time. Some of my videos are getting demonetized because of this illness. I'm not allowed to say it. So your financial support really, really means a lot more now than ever. So thank you so much. See y'all next time. Of course, let me know what you think in the comments below. This is Hyperchain. Peace.